Hello friends, I'm Apeksha Daveyer and I am an interior designer by profession and welcome to my channel Creative Corner. I'd like to brief about my profession before we start our topic today. Interior designing has always fascinated me. I have designed and execute many residential as well as commercial interior design sites. I have also been a lecturer of interior design in colleges and institute. In my this channel Creative Corner, I will upload informative videos and present insights into the field of interior design. So let's begin our topic today. Our today's topic is residential furniture plan. This is of course the favorite topic of designers as designing a residence is always liked by most of the designers. So, in our today's topic, residential furniture plan, I'm going to explain you about the key points or the important features that are required to draft and plan the residential layout. So here we are going to focus on important aspects that are required to draft the residential layout and what are the important points that you need to keep in mind, and these few points will really cover up your entire basic and even the additional points, and it will get very easy for you to plan the whole layout without missing on anything very important. So that will of course create a very nice impression of you as an interior designer in front of the client. So let's begin. First of all, I'll show you a layout of a residence. This particular 3-bedroom hall kitchen plan has been drafted by me, and this is drafted in AutoCAD 2017. We'll just quickly go through the entire layout before we start discussing the key points. As you can see, this is the main entrance of the residence. This is the first master bedroom, which is attached to a master bathroom. As we move on, this entire space is the living dining area. And as we go further, this is the master bedroom 2, which has a French window and which opens up into a balcony. Then the next is a common bathroom. Then the next is the master bedroom 3, which is attached to a master bathroom 3. So these are the 3 bedrooms attached to 2 bathrooms of course, and one is the common bathroom. As you can see, this living dining area, and near to it there is a kitchen. So this is the entire 3-bedroom hall kitchen plan, and we will take this as an example to understand our points today. Now the first and the very important point that you need to keep in mind while drafting the layout is free rotation space from main door to all the rooms. Like as you can see, your rotation space or your movement needs to be very free and very much accessible from your main entrance to all the rooms, room 1, even to the bathrooms, to the living dining, to the other rooms like room 2, the common toilet, the kitchen, to the room 3 and the other bathrooms. So there has to be a very easy rotation or the easy movement from the main entrance to the doors of all the rooms and bathrooms, including the small spaces and everywhere. In this case, there should be no blockages. There should be no blockages of columns or partitions or any walls which will make it difficult to move from one room to another room. So as an interior designer, this is the first very basic point to keep in mind, that you have to avoid blockages and give easy movement in the entire layout. So let's move to the second point. Second point is easy passage for the movement. That is standard width is 3 feet. So that is a standard width of a passage is 3 feet. Now as you see here, of course when you have many rooms, multiple rooms and multiple areas in your layout, they will be connected with the passages. Like here you can see that there is a main passage and there is one more other passage connecting other rooms. So we are talking here about the width of passage. So if I go to dimension and check the width of this passage, it needs to be 3 feet or more than 3 feet is always good. That is always spacious. So 3 feet to 4 feet is a very good width for a passage. So 3 feet is standard. But in case of compact flats, residential flats or some compact layouts, 2 feet 9 inches is also fine. So you can always add or subtract 3 inches to the standard measurement. Like if the standard measurement is 3 feet, but for small spaces 2 feet 9 inches will also be fine. Now we see the width of another passage. This is again 3 feet 7, which is very good as it is more than 3 feet. So it is very comfortable for people staying here to move in and out from one rooms to other rooms. So please keep in mind the width of the passage, the standard width is 3 feet. Okay, so now let's move on to the third point. The curtain pelmet to manage the natural light for windows. Now, indication of curtain pelmet in the layout is something very important. Whenever you are presenting a furniture plan or a layout to the client, you need to indicate the curtain pelmets, as it is understood that there will be a curtain here, but indicating it will create a professional impression of you as a designer. Now the curtain pelmet standard measurement, the standard width of the curtain pelmet is 3 inches. So here as you can see, it's a 3-inch curtain pelmet. Generally we have the wooden pelmet. The curtain pelmet is basically the wooden putty that goes for the curtain rod to hide the curtain rod, and then the curtain begins. So 3 inches is a standard width, but sometimes even 2 inches or 2.5 inches, 2 inches will be too smaller, so 2.5 is still okay if the size of the room is small. So remember, 2.5 to 3 inches is a perfect width of a curtain pelmet. So indicating curtain pelmet for all the windows, whether it's living rooms or your bedrooms, like I've shown here in all the rooms. As you can see, the windows, yeah, of course you can indicate it here also. So indication of curtain pelmet is very important, as nowadays you have a see-through windows or you have a long windows and French windows. So covering it entire with the curtain or sheer is something very important. Now next point is basic furniture planning for each room. Now here, this is something really very basic, that even before the client gives us his or her own requirements for their residence, this is something that is of course going to be a part of the room without the client saying it. And yeah, as a designer you cannot miss on the important parts of each room. Like for example, if it's a bedroom, there has to be a bed, there has to be a wardrobe. For the storage, there has to be a dresser, that is the dresser mirror, the mirror, and of course a little bit of storage for dressing. Then the LCD unit. Now LCD unit is optional, like if there are multiple bedrooms, the client might need the LCD only in one bedroom and not all of them. But in some cases they might need in all the bedrooms. So depending upon the client requirement, the LCD unit will be a part of the bedroom. Now if we go to living dining room, of course the sofa sitting. Sofa sitting is something basic that has to be sofa sitting. Now how much sofa sitting you need to give, that again depends upon the space of the living room, number of people staying there. And apart from sofa sitting, you can also give other additional sitting, like you have Indian sitting, or you have some extra chairs or poofies coming in, or any kind of sitting. But the basic sofa sitting should be a part of the living dining room. Next is again the LCD unit, very important part of the living area, a dining table and a dining unit. So these are the basic parts of your living dining room. Next is kitchen. Now in kitchen, when you start planning a kitchen or drafting the kitchen, these points will be the first to come in, and then you can plan the rest of kitchen. Like first of all, you will decide on where will be the hob point, that is your burner point. Next, where will be your sink point, on which part of the counter you will place your sink. Next is the fridge, very important, and the microwave, which is now a very basic thing in all the kitchens. So these are the basic things. Of course, there are many equipments in that has to be installed or fitted inside the kitchen, but that all comes later on stage. There can be ovens. So these are all special requirements, that if there are ovens or there are many other small equipments to install, but while you are drafting the plan, these points are very important. Next, if you have a utility area, washer dryer is the foremost important thing you need to indicate in the layout. Next is iron board. Iron board can be flexible or foldable, or as per the requirement of the client. So this is the basic knowledge the designer should have. Like if there is a utility area, what has to be indicated there? What are the basic formation of that particular area? Next is entrance foyer. So for the entrance foyer, there will be a console unit. Console unit is nothing but a welcome desk, and a shoe rack is a necessary part of the entrance foyer. Now when it comes to bathroom, we have the wet area and dry area. So I'll explain you in detail about this, but as you just go through the list, these are something that you already know. But as an interior designer, you don't want to miss out on any of these important points while drafting. So now we'll go room wise and check it out about these formation. Like for the bedroom, we have bed, wardrobe, dresser, LCD unit. Now as you go in the first bedroom, I have placed a bed which is of a standard size. It is near to a standard size. Like a standard size of bed is 6 by 6 or 6 feet into 6 feet by 6 inches. So this is like 5.5 by 6 feet bed, which is very much near to a standard size of a bed. Now since here the bedroom is very small and there is no space to indicate the side tables here, as there is no space for the side tables here, so I have indicated a ledge. I have taken a bed with a ledge. The ledge will make the bed look decorative, plus it will also act as a small side shelf, and it will make the bed look complete. So that is a designing part of it, which we will discuss later in our other videos and things like that. But this is just to explain you that how I have done the formation of the rooms. So there is a bed with the ledge. Of course, there is a LCD point, as you can see, and there is a LCD unit. There is a dresser which is near to bathroom, as you can see. So right now we are only focusing on the parts which forms the room. So we have a bed, we have a LCD unit, we have a dresser, and we have a wardrobe. So I have covered the entire wall, taken a full height wardrobe. So this is the entire wardrobe. So these are the parts which forms the room. If we go to second bedroom, again you can see a bed with proper side tables, as the wall here is much longer than the wall of the first bedroom. So we have proper side tables, we have a LCD unit, we have a full size wardrobe. So these parts fulfill the room. If we go to the third bedroom, again you can see I have a standard size bed, I have proper side tables, I have LCD point, I have a dresser unit, I have a wardrobe, full size wardrobe, and as you can see that near to window I have also given a study table. So that depends on the requirement of client. The study table and all are the additional things that the client will need as per each room and as per their requirements. So there is also a study table. So this basic things forms the part of bedroom. Okay, now we go to living dining room. That is, what are the important formation of living dining room? The sofa sitting, LCD point, dining table, and the dining unit. The dining unit is nothing but it's a crockery unit, a small display of crockery unit. Now as we move to the living dining area, you can see that I have given a nice L-shaped sofa facing the LCD perfectly. Okay, now the place here is little compact, and so I have not given a center table. But if you want, you can always add a center table. That is again one more option of a designer. But here I have not given a center table as the place is really compact. But I have given a side table which is little bit more in dimension. And so whenever required, we can drag this side table and you also use it as a center table. So it can get functional that way. So this particular side table can be just dragged and also used as a center table. So this is the sofa sitting. With the side table comes center table, the LCD unit. There is a perfect dining table for 6 people. It's like 3 feet by 6 feet. So that is a proper dining table with a crockery unit. The crockery unit is your dining unit. So I have just given it L shape kind of. So it is completely attached to the LCD unit, and that is continued with the crockery unit. So these are the basic points or basic parts of the room: the sofa sitting, the sitting area, the LCD point, the dining table, and the dining unit. You can of course add on many things in the room, like for example, since we have space here, I have added a chest of drawers here. Chest of drawers, again you can take nice low height chest of drawers, so it can be also used as a small console, plus the storage will fulfill your requirement of storing. So that is how it's like kind of a decorative chest of drawers for the living area. As you can see here, I have used a poof. So a poofy is nothing but you can always, it is the extra sitting which will be used in case of guest coming in or something. You can also show number of poofies, and we can always drag the poofies here with the sitting and enlarge our sitting area a bit in case of guest coming in. So those are additional stuff, but the basic parts always covered, and that forms our living area. Next, if we see the kitchen, as I said, the important points: the hob, sink, fridge and microwave. These are like the basic necessities today of the kitchen. So while you are drafting your kitchen layout, as you can see in the kitchen layout, this is the point of hob. So I have to decide on where will I place the hob. Naturally, placing hob in the center of the counter looks or makes the design look perfect instead of placing the hob in any of the edges. So that is again as per the design demands, but a neat layout will be a centralized burner. Now on the next platform, I have given the sink, that is the washing area, and it is again near to the window, so it will be comfortable for the person who is washing the utensils. And this is the fridge point. Now here, as you can see, the fridge, sink and hob, they form a triangle. So whenever these three parts, the fridge, the sink and the hob, forms any kind of triangle, that is the best layout of a kitchen. That is the most functional layout of the kitchen. Here you have two platforms running parallel to each other, and that's the reason this kitchen is known as a parallel kitchen. As you have many types of kitchen, one of them is parallel kitchen. So the kitchen that I have drafted here is a parallel kitchen. On this corner, I have given the microwave equipment. So this makes the layout look perfect. So here I have given a sliding door to the kitchen. There may or may not be a door to the kitchen, but giving a door is always a better choice for a designer, as the smell in the kitchen won't go out all the time. Even though if you have ventilators and stuff like that, it is again a choice of the client whether they want the door for the kitchen or they don't want it. So sliding is always a good option. So these are the important parts of kitchen: the fridge, the sink and the hob. Now let's move on to the utility area. Okay, so here we have not indicated the utility area. There is no particular utility area, but wherever there is a utility area, you need to show. So we can take this, we can just assume this as a utility area. So here you need to indicate the washer dryer and the iron board if required. Next is the entrance foyer. As I told you about, the console is nothing but a welcome unit and a shoe rack. So if we go to entrance foyer here, I've indicated the shoe rack here. So this corner can be used for the shoe rack cabinet, and it will also be like a panel to the pathway. So that's the shoe rack, and this can become the welcome desk. Instead of that, you can also show welcome decks over here for a console, but then you have to make sure that the rotation space, as we discussed in the first point, the rotation space should be free and easy. I cannot show a console which is very nearby to the entrance, and I don't want people to go turn around and move to the rooms. So if I want to show a console here, maybe somewhere here I can show a sleek console so that the rotation space is maintained and that goes easy. So now we move on to our next point. Now what is the next point that the designer needs to consider while drafting the layout? Better viewpoint for LCD unit. Now this is something very important, like for the kids and for the guests and for everyone who is residing in the house. They want to have a very better viewpoint for the LCD. Now if you consider the main sofa sitting or any sitting, the viewing angle from at least the main sitting should be more than 3 feet. It has to be more than 3 feet. Even if you check out the bed, you will see that if a person is sleeping here or sitting here, the viewing angle should be more than 3 feet. Of 3 feet viewing angle can also be sometimes really very short. So having an angle more than 3 feet will be perfect. So whenever you are placing your LCD points, make sure you're not placing your LCD points in very 45 angle and corners and all. For some compact places, just we try to fit in as many things as possible, but that makes our layout look bad and it's not functional, as viewing something on a 45 angle is not a great idea unless and until there is a real demand of doing that. So try and place the LCD at a proper angle, avoid the 45-degree and the cross paneling. For LCD, a straight view is always the best. Next, easy access from kitchen to dining for serving purpose. So as a designer, that is really a common sense that we need to have, that the dining should be near to the kitchen. It's not necessary that it has to be very close to kitchen, but it cannot be very far off, as this is a very small layout. But for you bigger layouts or even here, it cannot be very far off that it becomes difficult for the person serving, and it should not get difficult for the person who is serving to move on to a long way and go for the dining place. So it's always better to keep the dining near the kitchen, so it's perfect for serving. Next point, easy access to wardrobes and storage units and adding extra storage for the bulk. Now, as a designer, whenever you are designing a residential plan, storage is something that the clients look for the most. They want to have more and more storages in the rooms. So when it comes to wardrobes, we generally take full height wardrobes where we can include everything, the drawers, the shelf, and the cabinets and everything. So accessibility to the storage should be easy, like when we are considering wardrobes here everywhere. Like as you can see the wardrobe here, the accessibility is of course easy, and here we can have wardrobe with openable shutters also. Now as you see here, if I'll take wardrobe with openable shutters, it can become little congested, as when you are opening the shutter, the half of the space is gone. So for such compact places or compact bedrooms, we will prefer a sliding shutter for the wardrobe. And if you have more space, openable shutters is the best option for the wardrobes. So there has to be easy access to the wardrobes and even the other storages. Apart from wardrobe, you can always add on other storages. Like for example, I have added a utility storage here, which is near to the bathroom. So more and more storages in the layout will really create a great impact of you as a designer, and it is also functional for the person staying there. Next is addition of extra sitting arrangement for guests. However smaller the layout is or bigger the layout is, extra sitting is something people are always looking out for in the layout. So like for example here, as I just gave you an example of this poof, you can add more poofs also as an extra sitting. You can also add some kind of sitting in the bedrooms also. Like if you check out the third bedroom, we have enough space. We can cut short, or we can avoid this one side table, and give a long side table on one side, and on the other side we can give a nice rocking chair or any kind of sitting, a small lounge sitting or a comfortable sitting. So we can add on sittings even in the bedroom, and of course in the living room also we can add on some extra chairs, some foldable chairs in case of low space. If you have a huge plan, you can add on Indian sitting or any other kind of lounge sitting, coffee sitting. Now, if you need an extra sitting, I can avoid this chest of drawers and I can show some extra two one-seater sofa can be easily placed in this particular space. So that way you can add on extra sitting. Next point, providing of other basic essentials like. Now, as a designer, these are some common points you need to keep in mind. Even before the client says, you can always indicate a laptop table, a working table in maybe one of the bedrooms or one of the corners. Like in this 3 bedrooms, there is one study table here. So you need a working table. If you have 2 bedrooms, at least show working table in one of the bedrooms, like that. Next is providing a study table and play area in kids room. So here in this layout, we don't really have a kids room. But if you had a kids room, like for example, say this is a kids room, this would have been a kids room. What you can do is focusing on study table is very important, play area is very important. Now if this becomes a kids room, we will have smaller beds, smaller storages, so we'll have more space for, we will probably not have a LCD there, so we'll have more space for study table. We can give a smaller play area, we can give a smaller shelf of toys or a rack of toys, and a little bit space there for the kids to play depending upon the age of the kids. So that is, these 2 points are like factors are very important for the kids bedroom, the study table and the play area. Next, planning comfortable sitting in balconies like coffee sitting. Okay, so like there is only a one balcony here in the layout and I have placed a coffee sitting. And if you have huge balconies, you can also place in lounge sitting or a coffee table for 4 people, or you can arrange for a game board, and many other different type of sittings nowadays are available for the balcony area, so you can add on that. Next point, so that's our last point, that is the wall displays, artifacts and floor carpets for decor purposes. So in your plan you can always indicate wall display, artifacts are some decorative objects, and floor carpets. So like for example here I have shown a paneling behind the sofa, if you can see. So that paneling I have done just to hide this particular column. I have done the paneling. So this can become a very nice wall display where I can have some niches and place some artifacts there, or it can also become a texture wall with a collage photo frame and many other ideas. So basically this wall paneling can be converted into a very nice wall display with some mood lights and wall wash lights. So that is one thing. You can also have some loose artifacts, like for example instead of a Foyer I can also take some nice artifact or a corner piece or something like that. So you can, as a designer, you need to add on some artifacts, like it can be a small waterfall kind of stuff, or some nice decorative designed statues and lights, and nowadays you have lots of floor lights coming in and all that. You can always add on in corners or the passages that will enhance your layout. And the floor carpets, you can always indicate a floor carpet even below the beds, the center table, side table, the living area. So indicating carpets is also a part of the layout, so you can always do that. So these covers up this 9 points. They might look small, but they really cover up many important features that you need to keep in mind while drafting the residential plan. So this particular points will really help you. This is really going to help you and this will also become something like your checklist. So these are the factors you will put in your layout even before the client has given you his or her own special requirements for their own residence. So this thing is going to create a very good impression of you as an interior designer, and likely more you will have more chances of getting selected to design the place. So you need to keep this in mind, and with that we finish our topic today. And I hope that you liked my video, and I hope that it was enough informative to cover up many things, and you will definitely try and follow it, and it will be helpful for you. So with that, I like to tell you goodbye, and if you like my video, please do subscribe my channel, please comment and share my video, and good luck to you for drafting your plan. Thank you so much.